Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans by fans, with your hosts, Jessy Martin.
Because 90% of them are wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Max Taman.
You've got a plate of shit and you've got a bowl of shit. They're the same thing.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
John Taman.
What the hell was I talking about?
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
This is for you, Philadelphia. Hey, you know what? Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Just so I can get that out of the way real quick, please put the thumbs up and hit the like button and hit the donate button and hit every button that you can possibly hit that benefits us, because we're asking you nicely. Hey, man, well, why don't we get started off by introducing everybody? First off, this is Mrs. Happy. Mrs. Happy dances for us when we have a happy dance after a victory. But her battery is dying, and honestly, she requires a DC adapter. And frankly, I gave up DC adapters back in the 90s, and I haven't felt better since. Jesse, how you doing over there?
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Fantastic. I mean, seriously, he's letting us see his whole face today.
So far.
So far. Well, he hasn't moved up yet. And there we go. That's more like it. That's what we're expecting right there. From our good friend over there under the lead roof in in Parent Furnace, UK, Scott Hartley. Yeah, and of course, Max. How's everybody doing?
Did him dirty again, John.
It is Victory Monday, man. Who doesn't just fucking love beating the goddamn Philadelphia Eagles? Anybody?
It was nice. It was
nice. Really nice. Max, you were at the game yesterday, right?
I was, courtesy of the 1 Point Safety Show and the bunker. I got there. I was up in the seat, so I was up on top of the world. And, there was a lot of green. Mm-hmm. The stadium was full of Eagles fans. I don't know if
they were envious. They were green because of the W that we walked out of there with.
I don't know if it came across on TV. Yeah, but oh my goodness, I was surrounded by Eagles fans, and I tell you one thing: Jaden threw that last interception, and just the dejectedness of the stadiums, followed by the jubilation of all the Philly fans, was disgusting.
Yeah, they're all fucking praying to Rocky. Oh, Adrian, we did it! Oh.
Now, I called you after the show yesterday. Did you get the thing that I was telling you about?
I don't think so. I don't.
The Fred Smoot thing.
Oh no, I didn't get the Fred Smoot thing. No, I don't. No, we don't do that. But I didn't get the Fred Smoot thing.
I was stuck in traffic driving home yesterday, listening to the post game, and Fred Smoot and Scott Jackson were talking, and Fred Smoot just went on a little rant saying how much he wished that he was up in Philadelphia with the Rocky statue so he could just laugh at them all, because he watched them walk out of there with their cheesesteak fingers, just looking all sad so they could drive up 95.
Fingers. I'd like to go up to Philadelphia and laugh at that there goddamn Rocky statue. Fred Smoot talking about. And, Scott Jackson, who's got the duck to get it everywhere because he's got Manning head. That dude's got a fucking forehead that he could sell advertising on. Scott, you're in the wrong business, dude. You need to get on TV. That is tailor-made right there.
It is indeed.
It is. He could just get a green tattoo right there, and then they can put any ad on there that they want. You could have ads switching out every 30 seconds on that fucking forehead, buddy.
I could, mate, with a 10 head like mine. Absolutely. Look at that bad boy. I mean, I've been pretending for a long time, but hey,
I gotta tell
is
you,
what it is, man.
I'm not saying
Scott
a word
is
about
absolutely
anybody.
1,000% right.
I got to tell you,
I'd have been gone.
In the first quarter, I was debating it.
Yeah, no shit. I think we
like
were all
Saquon took off on that run, and I was
fucking
sitting
thing
back
on.
just like, man, I could be home for the third quarter.
Well, shit, man.
This is
So
what
you
Jaden
had
Daniels-
you had
just
a seat.
You never know with Jaden Daniels.
You had a single seat.
I had a single seat. Luckily, the one to my left immediately was open, so I was able to lean onto it, because I was dressed in 6 layers yesterday.
Yeah.
So needless to say, if they panned the crowd and you saw someone look like from the Christmas Story, you probably saw me.
That's how I felt this morning. Man, it was fucking cold this morning.
Woo. Yeah, I don't like the fucking cold. Scott, you had yourself a hell of a fucking storm the other day, didn't you?
Yes, mate, we did. We had a storm. It wasn't too bad, actually. Nowhere near as bad as it has been. So, yeah, a couple of tiles. A couple of tiles came off the roof last night, and then obviously it's lead lined, the roof. It's not actually a full lead roof, but yeah, we looked up last night. It looked like I had a new roof, and then this morning, obviously, we looked at it again and we've put it all back down. So it's all back in working order now. But I don't know if it was from the previous storms and we just hadn't noticed it. I'm not sure, mate. But the winds were quite bad. So
let's face it, you live in the United Kingdom. Fact is, the house was probably built in 1363.
You know, Wilson, I appreciate you being in the chat, and yes, we will.
What's up, Wilson?
The win because
we will make sure you eat your words. Enjoy this win. Well, I mean, hey, man, that's really not in your hands, but we do appreciate the sentiment, and that shit happens. Because I'll tell you, we are well aware of that, or at least I am, because I'm old enough to remember the body bag game that everybody's so fucking proud of all the time. Oh, the body bag! Oh, the Eagles in the body bag game, the body bag game. Well, 6 weeks later, we went into the fucking vet and we beat their ass in the playoffs and bounced them out. So you're right. You might get your pound of flesh because as we're standing right now. Max, why don't you tell us, where are we standing right now? Here's
right
the playoff
now,
standings.
We are the 7th seed.
All right.
We are firmly in the 7th seed, except if the Saints are able to pull off an upset this evening.
Okay, I'm sorry. My dogs decide right now to play. You can hear him running
I thought he was
yes.
laughing at the Saints being able to pull off.
I mean, if the Saints are able to pull the upset, we would be in the 6th seed. But let's be realistic. That's not going to happen. So
no, it's still in our hands. And as Jesse said on a bunker before, they've still got Minnesota to play, and we have the tiebreaker over them through NFC wins.
And that's the big thing. If Minnesota is able to beat them, we would jump into the 6th seed. Assuming we beat Atlanta.
Take care of business against Atlanta.
We would have to beat Atlanta.
Sure. Yeah. That's the best part. It's in our own hands. Win and in. Done with that. All you people that were fucking clutching your pearls about Michael Penix last week, are you going to kind of try to relax this week a little bit? Maybe not so crybaby about it, because he didn't really fucking light up the world yesterday. All right, and as long as Jaden Daniels doesn't throw 2 pick sixes like the Giants did, and as long as we're not showing up with the New York Giants team, I think we'd be all right.
Though. They really weren't on him.
On who?
At least one of them definitely wasn't on him.
On Drew Lock?
Pitts just gave.
Well, that wasn't a 6. We're talking about.
I'm talking about the 2 pick sixes.
The Giants threw 2 pick sixes.
No, they're talking about Penix.
Yeah, Penix. No, what I'm saying is, when you look at that score, right? They had a gaudy game against the Giants, for one, but he didn't really have a good game. And I'm just balancing that against, and we'll get to this towards the end of the show we're talking about next week, but I'm just balancing that against the fucking buckets of tears people were shivering over last week. Oh, Michael Penix. And I'm not saying any names, but there's somebody over there that was crying a few. Oh, well, there he is. There he is over there.
I mean, to discount Penix is kind of stupid, I'm
not discounting Penix. I'm just saying that I think that the fear is a little overwrought. But, and I think that that's shown.
All I'm saying is I would have rather played Kirk Cousins.
That's fine. We'll get to that. Because yesterday we got to play a backup quarterback, right?
Yeah.
We did, but I mean, I've heard butthurt Philly fans all day. And I mean, I've got a list here of things that Philly fucked themselves with. I don't know if you want to run Scott's list.
Scott on his list of the week.
So the first one is, why are you diving forward? That hurts. Don't dive forward. Why don't you slide like any other quarterback would do? We get that with Jaden as well. He dives forwards. I understand that. But had he slided, maybe no concussion. Maybe it's a different game. Who knows? The Lattimore PI, which I'm sure we'll get into. We've got a full drive of penalties and they only got 3. Whose fault is that? I'm very sorry about that. 12 men on the field for the OZ touchdown. Okay. False start for against Lucas on the final drive. That's also one I've heard. Have we watched Lane Johnson this year? Did we watch Lane Johnson yesterday? He's offside every single fucking snap. Pickett, the slide. Oh, you hit Pickett, you hit Pickett. Butler was nowhere near him. Another one. CJ Gardner-Johnson. All I've put is LOL.
What a douche!
Idiot. So you know what I mean? If you're gonna come in here, or you're gonna go on social media and start crying about losing to us, you need to sort your own house out first and realise that being aggressive doesn't always get you where you want to get to. So calm yourselves down, Philadelphia
Philly
fans.
shot
Get
themselves
thrown
in
out
the
of the game.
foot this game,
Correct.
just like we shot ourselves in the foot the first matchup. Period.
It was basically the
I
polar
heard-
opposites.
Yeah.
I heard what Gardner Johnson said to get thrown out of the game. I don't know if you guys heard the uncut version of the football game coming off the parabolic mics. He asked the ref if he wanted to double team Diami's mother that night. So the referee said that's really uncalled for. Diami, of course,
But-
shoved him.
You know what a real stat is to really influence the game? How about 3 of 16 on third down?
There you go.
That's what Philadelphia was.
There you go. Well, look, it is a reality that Jalen Hurts got knocked out of the football game. All right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just football. Okay. So all the excuses and everything like that, whatever. Who cares? It doesn't make any fucking difference. I looked on the standings today, and it didn't say wins, and then a column that said wins when Jalen Hurts gets knocked out of the football game. We got 10 of them. I know you guys are doing pretty good. You're doing pretty well, but we got one yesterday. Next man up. That's the way it goes. And it wasn't like Hurts was freaking lighting up the world anyway. You guys had Saquon Barkley charging all over the place in the first quarter, and then they shut him down.
That's
they
the
just
league's
closed
number
him
one
down.
defense that we just put up 36.
Correct. That's exactly
number
it,
one
Max.
defense.
That's the stat. That's the stat. The
It's
number
funny,
one
Scott.
defense.
I said this basically the exact same thing on the bunker
Right,
just
Scott.
a few minutes ago. We've been playing with backups for 20-some odd years, basically. So, yeah,
By the way.
and the thing is Pickett didn't even play bad. Like he
No.
played good. He played
No.
well enough to win. But again, sometimes you shoot yourselves in the foot. We've shot ourselves in the foot plenty this year.
That's right.
But,
Devontae
I mean,
Smith drops an easy third down pass.
Yeah.
Right? That leads to a field goal that gives us a chance. That's what, today I said that you make your own luck, right? Max, you know this phrase. What do you think about it? What does that mean to you?
If you play well, you're lucky. If you don't play well, you get unlucky. Things happen in your favor with momentum. The momentum swung in the second quarter.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know what? You make your own luck by doing things like Bobby Wagner punching that ball out when Saquon Barkley had a first down. That was a critical fucking reception. That he just punched. It was a catch, and he punched it out before the ball was finished through the ground. You make your own luck by doing that and giving yourself a chance to take the lead. Right. That gives you a chance for two Eagles to fall down and let OZ walk into the end zone. Right?
With
You
12
do it
men
with
on the
effort.
field at the same time.
Right, and you have it with effort, right? You do this through effort. That's what puts you in a position to still be in a football game in which you were getting blown out.
That's one thing that this team has an abundance of. They're nothing but
Grit.
They may lack in skill in a lot of areas, but they're going to show up and they're going to try to punch you in the mouth every single fucking play.
Goddamn right, Scott. What did you call that?
Grit. They've got grit. And
Yeah, well,
moxie.
I'll tell you what.
You know what I mean?
Funny enough, this was the graphic that I made for today's show as it uploads. This was today's show title. Well, thanks, Tim. Getting in the way and shit. I called it True Grit, and I came up with it last night, and I think you're 100% right. We got True Grit. Now they'll put Timothy's. There you go, man. If they had just had Jalen Hurts out there, they wouldn't have given up 5 touchdowns and 81 yards to Jaden Daniels after 5 turnovers, right?
Yeah.
See how stupid that
Yeah.
sounds? I saw the Eagles
Actually,
put up 6
you know what?
points
It
before
was
the fourth quarter.
in reality it was 6 turnovers. I mean,
It was a turnover on down.
That's right.
Yeah, turnover on down. Same thing as a fucking fumble.
Right.
So
I just want to
First
say,
drive of the game
I like the decision.
to go
Yeah,
for it
me
in that
too.
situation.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yes.
yeah,
I did too.
I didn't like
Well,
how Cosme gave away what he was doing,
Yeah.
but you know.
All right, we had this
What's
discussion
good
yesterday.
about this? What's good about that is we have built an identity on this team. We are going to be aggressive, and sometimes it's not going to work. And
You
we're
shoot
gonna
yourself
live
in the
with that,
foot.
and that's
Look at the
fine.
Lions.
Yeah. Well, they didn't shoot themselves in the foot yesterday.
You're
they
right,
might
they
have run
just-
a play that made it look like they shot themselves in the foot and then thrown a touchdown on
That's
it,
true.
but
that was brilliant.
that was really fucking
Fucking
cool.
brilliant.
Yeah. Look, the Commanders did make mistakes yesterday. Jaden had 2 uncharacteristic turnovers. One of them in a really bad position.
Well, one of them he
Situation.
does a lot. The other
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
the second one is uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah.
But that first one is
I
something
just
he
w-
does
I just
often.
wish
He's
they
gotten
would just
burned on
scrap
twice
that
now with
fucking
picks.
route right there. I just don't want him throwing that anymore whatsoever.
And
The other one is the out to the flat to the wide receiver has to stop, man. That is going nowhere.
just
Every single game.
I just want to say, for the Scouses of the world, both of those interceptions were thrown to Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah, I know, but Luke was also targeted, and he did very well in the run game, which I'm sure
I'm
we'll
just
get
saying,
into.
the Scouses of the world say that Luke isn't used in the offense. Well,
Yeah.
Well, he was yesterday. He was yesterday. I
that's
don't
what
think
Scouse
Scouse was saying that at all. He
No,
was
I don't
saying
think he was
they
saying
need
that.
to
Scouse
have
was
the
probably
connection.
saying- no, he was saying I got to buy some sandwich bags at the store. To just didn't understand him. That's all.
No, it
You're
was
right.
he was saying that the connection needs to get there to Luke, and Luke needs to step up, and I think he has done over these last 2 games, to be honest.
Sometimes
So I
it
think
takes
that-
getting the ball in your hand. Getting these kickoff returns, he's been really good. I think.
yeah. And, I mean, they kicked to his right almost every time, and they were just giving him that outside corner. All he had to do was just beat the guy to the outside. But goodness, Luke McCaffrey needs some speed, because that long one he had, right where Brian Robinson fumbled, he could have broken it if he had maybe just that much more. He got stopped by the kicker. Just want to point that out.
Yeah.
We'll just say it's. I mean, I like Luke a hell of a lot better than McNichols back there. I mean, he's still not Eckler in the return game, but he is probably the best we've got right now.
Well, he averaged
yeah.
40 yards return yesterday.
Well, and that long return that you're talking about, his speed, he started it on the other opposite side of the field. So he
Right.
came all the way across the field and then cut it up. So he done running along damn way. And he set us up well. But, yeah, then the very next play, Jalen Carter jumped in there. Now, Jesse and I, we had this discussion yesterday because you said that Cosme has got to get rid of this tell that he has. Now, go ahead and bring us up to speed on what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, if we remember back in, I believe it was OTAs.
Yeah.
Cosme was doing an interview, and he was talking about Bobby Wagner and what Bobby Wagner meant
W for
with his
Wagner.
experience. And he straight out said, it's like he knew what I was doing before I did it. And Cosme asked Bobby, how did you know? He's like, hey, you got to tell. And sure enough, if they went that replay, you see Jalen Carter point at Cosme saying, he's pulling. Sure enough, he just slipped right by. He just like sidestepped Biotish and made the play.
Yeah.
And caused the fumble.
All right. So here was our discussion yesterday. And when I say discussion, ladies and gentlemen, please understand it's usually me going, what the fuck are you talking about? And Jesse going, you know the fuck you're looking at. Right? So
Absolute facts.
Me and Scott just sit down here and just let you guys go.
It's fine.
my question is this. Because I said, Cliff, you got to stop doing this. Because Jalen Carter blew that shit up last time and time again. Every time they tried to pull Cosme, he just threw him over. And, of course, he did it again. And, by the way, I don't know, again, on the unedited version of the football game yesterday, you could hear Cosme when he got down into his stance. He goes, I'm pulling. And that's when Carter raised his hand up and said, he's pulling. But he blew it again. And, I mean, it's like, why are you going to continue to try to do something that was so demonstrably defeated last time? It was so defeated last time. So, what did you say? Get rid of the tell.
Yeah, get rid of the fucking tell. Yeah, get rid of the tell. And they're not going to change their offense. They're not going to change what's worked in the entire season just for
Jalen
one
Carter?
fucking
I don't
person.
know. Well, I don't know. He's a beast, man.
That's kind of ridiculous.
it's just
You
it's
can't not pull. I mean, that's part of fucking
And
football.
the thing with Cosme is it's just more of you have to be more of a attention to detail to line up
Yeah.
the same way every time.
Yeah.
If you're light on your hand,
Yeah.
it's gonna you can tell it. I mean,
He's
you play
right back.
pickleball, you can tell when people are lined up differently from 6 feet away.
Well,
And the thing
sometimes.
as well, you've got
Some
to
of
think
them I just
there
look
is
at their tits.
that the adjustments did happen. So they did happen in the second half. So I was quite impressed with the adjustments that did happen in the second half. So Jalen Carter was not as he was not as good in the second half.
Because we stopped running the
We
ball.
stopped running. Yeah, the run
Yeah, I
was
know.
Not
basically
necessarily
taken away
stop
from
running the ball, but we still had to a couple times.
Right,
just
we
because-
had-
just
yeah.
because-
Jalen
you know.
Jaden Daniels
But
was running.
just
the ball.
some of those teams, I just don't think our offensive line, although it's had its moments, they've been great at some points in time. I still don't think they're there yet. Something's
No.
missing a little bit. And maybe
Yeah.
Cosby hasn't been playing. We know last week he was not feeling good. He was on IVs. But even before that, I think his play has kind of came down just a little bit.
It's getting long in the season. It was a long
That's
time
true,
for a
too.
bye week.
I mean,
Maybe he got
injuries
exhausted.
probably mounting up. I think Wiley's probably going to be out next week, so we're going to see Lucas back at right tackle.
What happened to
Maybe
Wiley?
a good thing. Maybe not. We'll see.
We'll find out in the injuries just in a second here because I do have an advertiser. We have a sponsor today, and it's me. Look here. Look at these things. All right. I'm going to put this up right now because these glasses are awesome, and I want a set. Our friend Sean, he makes them. He's an old school Washington fan. Most of us know over on Twitter or X. His name is at FL Skins Fan for Life. He'll make them, but he's got to order like a gross of them. And he doesn't want to just order a gross of them to make me a set. So he needs to sell some so that I can have a set. I want a set. So order a set, man. Get with Sean or get with me, and I'll put you in touch with Sean because I want a set of these. Are those not awesome? Look at those things. Can you see them?
They're pretty cool.
Oh, good, because this is the fucking sponsor of the show here. You'd think you could hype it up a little goddamn bit.
You're doing a great job of it.
I'm going to order 4 sets.
You ordered.
There's definitely a set there for me and a set for my family as well. So 100%.
So $32.95. I mean, you know what? That's some quality work right there. I saw this on a T-shirt at a guy that was walking through Giant the other day, and I wanted to talk to him, but I thought he might thought I was being too forward, so I didn't think so. I said, I'm not going to talk to him because he's kind of cute, and he's probably used to people just coming up to him and talking to him, so didn't say anything like that. But Scott, of course, we do have a sponsor for Scott today.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, here we go. It is Abner Woo's Down Home. It's Abner Woo's Appalachian Homestyle Christmas Feast. A traditional Christmas feast with all the trimmings straight from the hills of eastern Kentucky. After being festively rejected by local food banks and grocery stores, the chef of Abner Woo Kitchens are allowed to select only the most tender, juicy, nearly expired meat just before it's sent to the pet food factory. Is it a turkey? Is it a chicken, or is it a buzzard that got hit by a car? We're not too picky about that because the master chefs of Abner Woo Kitchens lovingly prepare each feast to remove every particle of gravel, and our secret blend of spices and seasonings will make it so that your family will hardly notice any of the remaining rancid flavors of whatever kind of bird it was. So this Christmas, after giving the kids their Olive Garden gift cards, gather round the cable reel for some real down-home Christmas cooking. Happy holidays from everybody at Abner Woo Industries. So there you go. Abner Woo's delicious down-home. Boy, that thing looks tasty.
Per Elias Sports, prior to yesterday's comeback win, Washington had lost 98 straight games when trailing by 13 or more points in the fourth quarter.
Dude, we scored 22 points in the fourth quarter yesterday. We gave up 21 in the first quarter, scored 22 in the fourth quarter. That's making your own luck if you want.
You're never out of it.
No, you're just not. With Jaden Daniels.
5.
So I know that we hate the name JD5, but Fred Smoot now is calling him Jedi 5.
Well, he's trying
Nice.
he's trying to say JD5, but it's
no,
Jedi 5.
Because he was saying, he's not a Padawan anymore. He's not just a soldier anymore. He's a Jedi. He can do things with his mind.
I agree.
He's moving that safety around.
He's moving that safety. I agree.
Hearing Fred Smoot say the word Jedi is worth the price of admission.
Yeah, I'd say so. Look, I thought, like yesterday, Jalen Carter tried to grab that spike. Did you see that?
Yeah, he did.
All right. And then he stood up, and these two were laughing and carrying on with each other. Jaden, I see laughing and carrying on with opponents all the damn time. So, dude, even the opponents like him.
We saw the same thing with Robert, too.
Dude. Everybody follows this guy. So, the leadership, the qualities of his just maturity, nothing seems to rattle him at any point in the game. He's just having fun out there.
He's got that poise.
So listen to this. A perfect passer rating is 158.3. When Jaden targets Terry, his passer rating is 140.0. That is the highest rating in a 75 target season since 2015. And that was Wilson to Doug Baldwin.
Okay. So then we're going to have to just do it again. We're just going to have to keep doing it because the accolades keep coming.
Fuck your bike.
Fuck your bike. Right. So the elephant in the room, once again, is Terry elite? He keeps coming up in these conversations about elite things.
He's not Chase. He's not Jefferson. He's not elite.
He's in those conversations.
He's a very, very damn good.
Is he now on 12?
He's on 12,
Yes.
I believe.
So he's
Jesse,
tied the franchise record
Is he
now, and
tier
over
2
1,000
then?
yards.
No.
he's not tier
No.
2?
Oh
No,
wow!
he's probably, definitely, yeah, I'd say he's tier 2.
Jesus Christ. All right, so
He's not
He
tier
is a
one,
he is a
he's
top
not-
he is a top 10 receiver in the NFL.
I ain't going
Fact.
there. Absolutely not.
Fact.
all right, so I've got an expert. Here.
On this season, he is. Yeah. On this season alone.
He's having his best season of his career.
Yeah, but look
Yes.
at the other wide receivers in the league right now, and tell me
There's-
that he is not in the top 10.
He
There's
keeps
a
cranking right up in there.
1,000% chance there's 10 receivers you would rather have if you're being actually serious.
No, I mean on this season. I'm not talking past
No, he's
seasons
he's
like
having
your
a
Devontae
fantastic
Adams.
No. Elite is a career. Elite is a career thing. He's
No,
having
I
an
know what you
elite
mean.
season for sure. But how much higher is he keeping to creep? He keeps getting mentioned, like I said last week, in short lists with elite names. That starts to put you on the list. Go ahead,
Jaden
Jesse.
and
You had your
Terry
point.
are a deadly combination.
Yeah, they are.
They're great.
They
Now,
are.
if we get a real number 2, that could hurt a little bit of some of Terry's. But this is all we got right now, and it's in the
That's pretty. Dude,
Like-
that's like saying this fucking 2007 Nissan. I mean, that's all we got right now. We're gonna just run it till it's dead.
the Terry Daniels combination is freaking
200,000
it's great.
mile.
It's freaking great.
Well,
It's great.
Yeah, you're right.
Terry's the only receiver that we got because he's going to get the majority of the targets because he's a fantastic receiver, and there's nobody on this roster that comes close to him.
well, let me tell you this: as the senior member of the group here, to get a real number 2, I recommend Cheerios.
Jesus.
All right, look,
Christ.
I got a text today from a real solid bona fide expert. This man is an actual media personality and spent 15 years on the Bang Radio Hour with me. My good friend Tom from the Bang Radio Hour. I asked him this morning. Now Tom is an Ohio State fan, lives in Columbus, and is a Dallas Cowboys fan. Save the comments. All right, so I said, okay, here's something that's been running through our podcast. Is Terry McLaurin elite? Of course he is. Now he has an elite quarterback. That's funny to me because I don't even think it's a debate, and I'm obviously not biased. And he said further, because he pays attention to the show, tell Jesse I said have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up. So there you go. The official word from Tom, who, by the way, I'm trying to convince to come on the show with us for the Cowboys week, if that's all right with you guys.
That'd
Yeah,
be
man.
fantastic. No, but I mean, look, Terry's
So-
having a fucking awesome year, but he's not a Justin Jefferson. He's not a CeeDee Lamb.
No,
he's
no,
not a
look,
Paul
I'm not-
Chase,
I'm
he's
not saying that.
AJ.
But
That's when we're talking about.
Is he
elite.
top? No, I know.
We're talking
Is
about
he elite? But is he in the top 10 conversation of wide receivers this season?
Absolutely.
I mean, he's
having-
having.
he's dead.
If you're just going by yards in touchdowns, yeah.
touchdowns, yards,
Okay,
effectiveness.
so-
Like this is a team yesterday with a number 1 defense. He shredded it.
So here's the thing
yeah,
to
He didn't have
consider
a
as
huge
well.
game, but when they needed a touchdown, dude, that was Willie Mays, man. That was that was as good a catch as you'll see, and that was really as good a pass as you'll get too.
Yeah, the pass was
Go ahead,
fucking-
Max. You had a
So here's the thing to
dropping the
consider
ball.
real quick: is there are 11 receivers in the league currently with 1,000 yards. Terry McLaurin is one of them. He is number 10 with only 1,029. Zay Flowers is 1,016. AJ Brown, Brock Bowers is a tight end. Consider him what you want. Jerry Jeudy, Brian Thomas Jr., JSN, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase.
You got to put him above Jerry Jeudy for fuck's
The
sake.
only
I'm
one of
saying,
those.
Well,
Well, hang on. What's it?
I think I know where Max is going with this.
Well,
All right, go ahead.
I'm
Max.
just saying
Go with
the
it.
only one of them that has more or less receptions than Terry are AJ Brown and Zay Flowers, which tells you that he's not just getting there, but he's efficient. He's only got 73 catches on the year. You know, when you look at
a lot
Jamar
of his
Chase,
catches are deep balls too.
Not a lot, but
No.
he's got a good bunch of them, and that's
He
the
doesn't.
thing.
He
When we-
doesn't get no
he's-
runs
he's hit some
besides the
daggers,
one.
man.
Besides the Dallas one, he doesn't get. He doesn't. Hasn't been
yeah,
getting
but
much
plus
yet.
he's only
He always
got
gets caught.
he's only got 12 catches over 20 yards.
But he's had some daggers, that's for sure.
So you're not telling me that you're not telling me that. Do you think Jackson Smith and Jigba is better than Terry? I don't.
He's in that same tier as Terry.
Okay, is Judy better than Terry? Not for me.
Probably not, but Judy's close to that.
But
tier.
look, Devontae Smith, your AJ Brown.
I'll take Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. I'll take Amon-Ra St. Brown.
But would you take Devontae? Hang on,
I'll take Jameson Williams.
You would take Devontae Smith or Jameson Williams as a number one receiver?
Very close to it. They'd be a 1B. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's an elite wide receiver.
Yeah,
that's right. But what I'm getting at is Amon-Ra is a number one wide receiver on that team.
Yeah, fact.
Devontae Smith is not. Jameson Williams is not.
You can put Devontae Smith just like a Terry on another team and be a 1A, 1B type receiver.
Right, but what I'm saying is Devontae Smith is not built to be a number one wide receiver. He is built to get the second best cover player on any team.
He's small, but he has beat our number one corners.
Our number one corner is Benjamin St. Jude, Jesse.
Up until this week,
or Kendall Fuller.
Last week, it has been too much in that regard. Yeah, you can't go by anybody.
Let's not pretend that Terry hasn't gotten shut down before.
He has.
No, yeah.
But we have also seen other great
Every
wide
receiver
receivers get shut down too. I mean, freaking Justin Jefferson disappeared for like 7 weeks this year. And that's fine. They play team ball. But I think that you're going to have to start to bend a little bit, my friend, and say he's creeping
I got
up
him out of
in
the top 20. He's the top 15 now. I am bending, but he's not top 10. Sorry.
He bends like me touching my toes. It creeps.
Jesse, we've been asking you for 7 weeks for the list. While you got your Christmas vacation, I think we need one.
I will. And
y'all we're going to have to put that list on. By the way, I noticed on that video right there that there's something hanging out of that elephant's asshole.
I've never looked that closely, John, to be honest with you.
Well, I can't help it. When he spins around, there's something flopping around over there. Then I guarantee
That's
he's
his
pissed
fucking
off.
tail.
Hang on a second.
No, his tail's sticking up in the air. Here, watch again. There it was.
Fucking hemorrhoid.
That's why I
call the FBI. Call the FBI, check that man's hard drive. Honestly.
That's why he's rampaging through the village. Some of the fucking local kids stuck some firecrackers up his ass and ran. So, anyway, that's just some goofiness.
You remember just 2 years ago,
all right,
okay, motherfuckers were saying that Jahan was better than Terry.
Well, those are motherfuckers, though. You can't listen to them.
True.
So
that was because Jahan found the end zone.
That's true.
That was the big thing about that season. Is Terry only had 3 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Jahan had 7.
Most of the fan base was like, "Yeah, Terry's 1B, Jahan's 1A," and I thought that was a little bit of a stretch right there. Even though Jahan did have a really good rookie season,
he did.
But then there's times where Terry had a drop yesterday, right in his fucking hands.
Yeah, that did. Well, there was a lot of traffic there, but yeah, you're right. That did get through there, and I thought
that's a Terry type of catch in traffic.
I thought the ball hit that defender in the shoulder, but it didn't. So I'm looking up the stats of the game here. Did somebody do that before the game? Before this?
Yeah, I got him up.
Tell me how many penalty yards we had as opposed to the Eagles, because what it seemed like to me, because we always look at the refs on Friday, and I hate to. You don't like to point anything at the refs, but nowadays you have to look at them as a third team on the field because you have to beat them as well as the other guys. So what were the penalties like, Scott?
Besides the Marshawn Lattimore,
I have
got that.
I've got it.
No, I just got the box score. Where'd you find penalty yards?
ESPN Team Stats.
Team Stats.
Oh, it's on Team Stats, is it? Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Cheers.
Yeah, I agree, Jesse, with that. I agree.
So, as someone who was in the stadium, I couldn't really tell what you guys were able to see on television with the pass interferences. So please enlighten me.
Oh, there was something.
Those were some calls
that catch Keith with his pants down.
The first Marshawn Lattimore, that should have been offensive pass interference.
Yeah,
Marshawn Lattimore. Listen, look, multiple people, like actually football players, have said that is an offensive pass interference. He had him by the neck, pulling him down, and Marshawn was just trying to get his hand off of. AJ Brown.
He looked like Long Dong Silver the way he was holding on to that.
AJ Brown
thing.
had his jersey pulled down like this, and he was just trying to get his hand off his fucking jersey. That's all he was trying to do.
I mean, the thing with that though, Jesse, is while I agree with you, 100% of the time, if any contact happens, it's going to be on the defense, unless it is blatantly on the offense. But Jesse, this is the same thing that we've been talking. There's only 7 officials, and the one that has a view of that is 30 yards away at the goal line.
Well, fuck that official. He needs to have go-go gadget fucking eyeballs. I'm
Fucking
tired of
A, he
getting
does.
flags
And
thrown
we've
on
been
my
telling
guys
Roger about this
when
for
they
years.
don't.
That's right.
Deserve a
Augment
flag.
these motherfuckers, Roger. Fucking Bionics is real, dude. Get on the goddamn thing there. Look, did you see
They
that
got
all of a sudden?
fucking
We had a
14
fucking
million
Emmanuel Forbes
cameras.
sighting.
They got 14 million cameras.
but
now, they did throw.
do you
they
remember
did pick
what-
up the flag on the roughing call? That was close, but it was the right. I commend them for picking up. I think.
Do
it
you
was on
remember
personal
what
bubble.
happened when they tried to review pass interference for a season?
Yeah, it was bad.
They used to review pass
Jesse,
interference.
and do you
before
remember
your day.
what? What? They did it for
They only
one
did it that
season
1 year,
in
yeah.
2019, and they never overturned the referee call.
It's because, look, here's the thing about pass interference. It's always a subjective call. Even before they fucked the game up, starting in around 1990 or so, when they started changing the rules to benefit the offense, then prior to that was the biggest, most controversial call all the time because it was the most subjective call that the referee can make. It's up to him as to what he sees. And that, I think, has a lot to do with it because, look, I'm going to look at it again, and I trust you, I believe you, that when you're telling me he's pulling him down from here, because I'm looking at the replay, I don't see that. I see 2 hands on his arm like
know what
he's
you're seeing,
holding
man.
a fire hose.
I don't know what you're
Well,
saying.
that's what you're trained for is with when you see a pass interference, you look at the defender's hands. You're not used to looking at the receiver.
Right.
That's what we're trained for as football fans.
Right, and we see guys all the time, offense, defense, our team, other teams, who do things within the confines of that little box that they're in when the ball is coming in. That they give him a little. He just got snagged.
I mean,
Can we just agree that the second call was total bullshit from start to finish?
Absolutely.
once
The one
again,
that wrapped him around the arm and kind of spin that. They're going to.
You're allowed to touch.
You're
it.
allowed to hand fire.
Touch him,
You're allowed
yeah,
to
but
touch.
He
didn't have.
That's the
pressure
third
on
one.
his ass at all.
Oh, that was the third one. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
There was one of them was definitely a pass interference.
Okay.
The other two.
the third one was the most blatant one, but the second one I still don't have any idea.
Okay.
But with penalty yardage, Philly had 10 for 91. We had 6 for 93.
Yeah, 6.
Boy, we feel like we had a lot. I tell you this. It seemed like in the first quarter, the referees were like, "Geez, these guys are running all over the Commanders. Throw some flags. Get them back in the game." They were flagging every single thing Philly did. It seemed like.
Don't start that.
I'm sorry.
Now any Philly fans that we have over here are just going to be going, "Oh, look at this," and now you're going to get clipped. Look at
I
you.
couldn't care less.
Oh,
Dude, I don't care. You want to say something? Here, I'll tell you something. The Eagles would have won if Jalen Hurts was in the game. Here, by the way, tweet of the day. Fucking comment of the day. I got to pull this thing up.
Is this one of Keith's videos of him messing
No,
with
this
this
is.
kid?
Oh, that's.
Oh,
the
that
wrong
was
one.
fucking
These are some
funny.
awesome glasses. I
kid.
want to set.
Those-
Get in touch with Sean at Florida Skins Fan for Life. No, this comment of the day right here. Scott Abraham put this up. This was a 29-yard run by Jaden Daniels. I think this was the 4th down and 11 or something
Yes.
like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it
and
was.
this guy here, whose name I can't read, it's too small on my screen. Hold on a second. What did it say?
Jaden Daniels
Jaden
season.
Daniels season.
What? That's
Sneed,
something.
1981.
In case y'all didn't know, this happened because Hurts wasn't in the game. I think that was fucking classic. So there you go. Congratulations. You're now famous, whoever you are. I don't have a band. I need a band to play music on this kind of shit. Because now I'm lost trying to get it out of here. There we go. This is why I'm the world's worst podcast host, ladies and gentlemen.
So, one other thing about being in the stadium is I am so glad I did not have to listen to Greg Olson gush about Big Dom.
He did.
He didn't.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
He was actually. You know what he said? That
Didn't
I
even
loved the
mention
most?
him once.
He's now my favorite glass of milk, and I'm lactose intolerant. Believe me, I can't stand that guy because he's just so squeaky clean. He's just a piece of corn silk. That's all he is.
Him and his third leg.
Him and his third leg. That's right. It helps me get around and help old ladies across the street because he's Greg Olson.
But yesterday he did say the Commanders killed the Bears. They had a season going, and the Commanders killed the Bears. That right there, pay him a salary. Give it to him, as far as I'm concerned.
I can't stand all of the big Dom talk. So when I saw that it was Greg Olson against the Eagles, I was glad to be in the stadium.
Whatever. Big Dom. Dude, have your stroke. Get it over with. All right, so Max, you put this up in our chat today. Since 2000, where does this team rank?
I was talking about this at work today, and somebody asked me, in my fandom, where does this team rank for that? And I've been a fan since 2002. So I'll just back it up to 2000
since you were born, but you've become aware.
I've watched football really in 2002.
I had a journey of self-discovery and became a
so
Commanders fan.
I don't know the 99 team that barely lost to the Bucks. For me, our first playoff team was 2005, and for me, that's our best team in my lifetime.
Right.
And then 12, and then this one.
Yeah.
For me, this is number 3.
Okay.
And
all right, so in terms of a big win,
not just the win, just the season. Where does this season and this team rank since 2000?
The season isn't over.
Okay,
is there a possibility in our playoff scenarios that we can collapse and get thrown out?
Absolutely.
We have we have a 98% chance, pretty much.
At least 2%.
94.
And if there's anything I know about it, that's a fact. And here, let me make sure everybody understands exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm the old guy. But God dang, I'll tell you something. If there's 2% chance I'm going to fuck something up, I'll figure out how to do it. While John Tamar's been sitting there having 4 or 5 beers during the course of the day. That sounded more like Bill Clinton. Fuck that.
Where did you get that?
What, that picture?
Yes. How long have you been sitting on this?
North's been a regular on this show. Don't you worry about that. He was in the booth yesterday in Las Vegas. I saw that. So him and his
good old Norval.
son.
Good old Norval. How's everybody doing? It's been just a tough game today out here in Oakland. Did they beat the Jaguars yesterday?
They did.
Yes,
yeah.
They sent themselves from number 2 pick to number 6.
Dang it! If there's one thing I know how to do, it's fuck up a season.
Him and Scott Turner in the booth.
All right, so let's see here. Okay, so let me ask you this: where does this win rank in terms? Because in my opinion, this is a big win, and I don't care whether Hurts was hurt or anything. I don't care. I don't want to hear any of your stupid fucking excuses. You people put Cheese Whiz on a goddamn steak sandwich. It makes no sense to me. I went up there, I had a steak sandwich. I'm expecting something decent, like some provolone cheese or some mozzarella or something. They take this pasteurized processed shit in a jar and dump it on there and say, this is the best steak and cheese in the world. Jesse, you ever had one of those goddamn Pat steaks?
It was fucking disgusting.
They're fucking horrible. So fuck all of you up there in Philadelphia. So where does this win rank? I think it's big because this was a team. We are a team that's on the rise. And I think that a win like this in December against a rival in our own stadium, this is a future thing. It might not propel us to a Super Bowl, but this team is on the way. That's a good step. What do you think?
Are you asking for like a ranking or what?
No, just talk about whatever games you think that can match it or are better than it. I think there are bigger wins.
Jesse, do you want to go?
This one's big. Yeah, please.
Yeah,
you go first, Jesse.
It's tough to
talking.
put it like extremely high up there for me. On the fact that, I mean, look, Jalen Hurts got hurt. I can't put that.
Don't care.
I can't fucking put that. I mean, it was a great win, but the win
wanker?
that we got.
Don't care.
The win that we got, was it when they were 11 or undefeated? I'd put that higher than this one.
Mm-hmm. So in my fandom, which is really young, I'd say this is a top 5 win for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can go through them. The Cowboys with the Gibson wave, that is right up there. That's probably number 1. The Steelers game when they were undefeated in the COVID season, right up there as well. That was unbelievable. Going to Philly and just breaking them down, time of possession, the game you were just talking about there when they were undefeated, that's up there. Yeah. The one that cemented my fandom with the Robert run against the Vikings, that's number 1 for me. And then yesterday, is up there. I mean, I'm literally in my front room screaming "fuck the Eagles." You know what I mean? It was ridiculous.
Every time yeah. No,
You know, I
That was
absolutely
me in the
brilliant.
stadium.
Yeah, but you just the sheer joy, and the thing that's weird is now it's enjoying Sundays. It's getting to the point where I'm looking at Sunday and going, hey, we've got a game this weekend and I'm loving this. I'm going to work on Mondays, and people who don't follow the NFL at all are talking to me about my team, which is ridiculous. I walk round and I'm seeing apprentices in my work going, oh, Commanders fan. Yeah, I am a Commanders fan. And it's like, holy fuck, this is the UK. People don't talk about us over here. We got more than 10 seconds on the national televised podcast. You know what I mean? It's brilliant. It's absolutely amazing to be a fan right now. And as you said, John, we are on the up, and the only way is up. And this is going to be great in one or 2 years. Our window is wide open. Let's just jump through that window.
I will say, I think it's important. This was an important game
for this team.
Jaden,
yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Just for him to be able
yeah.
to just put the team on his back, because we haven't really to come back from behind against a really good team. So I do think it's important in that aspect of it.
You know, too, I think in the first quarter, I think he had a little bit of the yips. The first drive where we went for it on fourth down, he had a couple of little. He had a high throw. He had a throw to who was it out in the flat? The running back that didn't catch it, was it McNichols? I think, or Zacchaeus had one
Crowder.
go off his hands, or one of them had one go off his hands over there, and it looks like okay he should have caught it, but it was still a high pass. He threw the high interception over top of McCaffrey. So, but he calmed down. And like you said earlier in the show, Max, I never felt like I was out of it. What was it? Was it 4th down and 11 that he made?
On a scramble.
I felt good about it. As soon as I see him break contain, I'm like, fuck, these other guys are on skates after that.
Yes,
that?
for sure. That was the point in the game where it just flipped.
Yeah.
And,
4th and 11, third quarter.
It started to tilt a little bit with the Luvu interception when we actually got that when we got the touchdown. Mind you, Saquon then took off for 62 yards, but that was the last touchdown they scored in the entire game.
Mm-hmm. Scouse has got a great point here. If you put that off the chat.
Wow.
What's he got to say there? Where is it? This was the game where we get true belief in ourselves. This is going to be great for us for momentum this season. I agree. I also think that it's going to be great momentum for us going forward into 2025 and beyond, because
correct.
Jaden is a rookie, and it's funny listening to like John Keim, because he keeps having to state that as he's gushing about these, not just the statistics, because if you look at him, what do you have, like 220 passing yesterday?
258.
But
258,
5 touchdowns. Hello. But it's not like he's putting up enormous fucking, Joe Burrow type numbers, but he's winning the football game. He's winning the fucking football game. And
that's his highest numbers this season. Yesterday.
So, something else for Jaden, just specifically.
That's remarkable.
Just something else that's remarkable. Going after New Orleans, where we got sacked 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Off the top of your head, how many times did we get sacked yesterday?
1.
Was it? I can't
It was
remember.
once.
Was there one?
Yeah.
For 3 yards. 1 sack.
Wow.
After a week of 8. So the entire offense rebounded. Brian Robinson left his hands in New Orleans, but that's a different story.
Yeah, but I'm going to chalk that up to I don't know, but Brian Robinson doesn't he freaking had 561 touches before the last time he fumbled. So
yeah, well, I'm going to chalk that
thing.
up to Jalen Carter. The dude's a fucking man boy. He's a beast, and I
And
mean,
then-
we're going to have to face him for a long time.
To kind of rewind a bit, that 4th and 1, that to me, like I said, that was a turning point again. I mean, Philly had the ball almost the entire third quarter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were saying earlier about the identity of this team and how aggressive they are. I mean, who goes for it on 4th and 11 in the fucking third
Serious
quarter?
balls. Serious balls to do that.
Not many people, but Quinn and company had all the faith in the world in Jaden Daniels, and I think that particular play right there really, I think, to me, cemented Jaden in just to go forward and say, you know what, I got this fucking shit. We're not losing this game.
Season. He's got this season. He put himself in MVP conversations yesterday. I mean, I get it that they're going to wrap it up. I don't think he's got a chance to win it, but he's in the conversation. So, okay, moving along here. By the way, everybody, we're going to go.
One thing I will say on Jaden as well before we finish is he is currently, and I know it's a vote by fans, but he is the most voted for quarterback for the Pro Bowl.
Dude, he should be. Have you ever seen him pull a paper airplane? Those things fly for fucking ever. We're gonna clean. The NFC is cleaning up in the paper airplane competition, and he's also really good at checkers. So bet on the NFC.
Also, Scott, just to give you this little tidbit, that was not the most yards he'd thrown for all season.
That's what Kime said this morning. So that's why I went
He threw for 300 yards against Chicago.
Oh, okay.
And he threw for 326.
There's belief and there's belief when it comes to fruition. When beating a top opponent, it gives you that real belief, etc., not just talk, etc. You're right, etc. Scouts. And, you know, it's the belief is this is another fourth quarter comeback, another almost last possession touchdown comeback.
What's that? Is that his third drive that he's won? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to say, and I still say, when you tell me about the fourth quarter comeback stat, that just means you were losing. But it's fun to be on the other side of it for a change. That I can say.
I mean, we're on a 3-game win streak again.
Yes, and we're going to not even mention that. We're not going to talk about that because we're not going to be the ones that are going to wreck it. Let everybody else and all their other podcasts talk about what we're not going to mention, and it'll all be on their heads when it falls apart. All right, so like I said, we are going to go long because I do have a question. Because I asked this yesterday, and then right after I asked it, fucking Marshawn Lattimore went into the blue tent. So here's the question I have. Is if, now this is a big if now because I don't know what his status is. Does anybody have a status on Marshawn Lattimore as of yet?
The only thing that Quinn said out of his press conference was that he would give an update probably on Thursday or Friday because obviously Christmas is Wednesday. And they're going to do an install tomorrow and run Tuesday as if it is a normal week would be what would be Wednesday. Looking at the injuries that they came out with, Wiley, has a hamstring, Brown has a hamstring, and Lattimore has a hamstring. So all three were hamstring injuries from yesterday that people are questionable with, and we haven't got any update on where they are.
When did Wiley come out? Because that wasn't announced.
Wiley came out midway through the fourth quarter with about 5 minutes to go.
I wonder if a lot of that had to do with the cold because it was. How cold were you?
Cold.
I bet you were freezing, man.
Yeah,
so
you're not running around either. But
so I got to my seat at 11:15 because I'm not the biggest fan of heights. So I wanted to be sure that I got there and I didn't have to move for a long time.
Okay.
So I got up. I watched the whole warm-up. I watched the basketball thing. And then I was in the sun until about the second quarter. But once that sun dipped down, that's when it got – the wind never picked up. I don't know what it was on the field, but up where I was, it was not windy. It was just still cold.
Yeah, it was pretty cold yesterday.
What was it, 20 in the end?
It was 29 by the end of the game.
So here's the question. Let's assume let's assume the best. Let's say, okay, Lattimore – might maybe miss this game against the Falcons, but he'll be okay. All right, he's going to be okay. Is our cornerback question answered? Because that was a huge question that we left open coming into the season.
No.
All right, we drafted Mikey Sanderstill, or I still know how to say his name, Sanderstill, and we picked up Noah and we've picked up Marshawn Lattimore. So if you put all three of them on the field at the same time, how do you feel about them, Jesse?
No, I still think we need another corner. We need another outside corner. Sanders still is going to be our nickel back.
Wait, no, that's Noah dog. Noah I's the nickel corner.
Let's see this here. Eagle Empire. Well, you advanced second-string quarterback, and you only won because Devontae dropped the ball. Hey, Eagle Empire, who gives a fuck? Take that L, motherfucker!
You know how many times y'all been beating
You
us?
dumb son of a bitch.
and
Let me
we've had
just
a-
tell you this, Eagle boy out there fucking talking shit on our podcast.
These motherfuckers think Pickett played bad. What?
Listen.
Y'all are foolish. Y'all are fucking foolish.
Yeah, it's not like
Foolish.
anybody's afraid of Jalen Hurts, and it doesn't make any difference anyway. Your defense was out on the field, so get the fuck back, go home, kiss your wife's mustache, and fuck off for Christmas, you fucking shit eaters.
Excuses.
Back to the list.
Excuses, yes, back to the list.
If your quarterback doesn't dive forward, you don't get hurt. You've got 12 men on the field. Whose fault is that? Number one defense in the NFL. 36 points. There you go.
Thank you, Philly thing. It's a
Now,
I know.
reasonable
Washington
Philly
on the one.
fans.
I get it.
We'll have
It's good.
But just be reasonable. Listen, we've been playing with backup quarterbacks for years and years.
30
and
years. Yeah.
Okay, and listen, y'all beat our asses. It's good. Kenny Pickett played well enough for y'all to win the game.
He scored
did.
33 points. Let's face it.
Yeah, 33 points. We turned the ball over 5 times. Okay, 5
6
times.
technically.
Yeah, technically 6 if you
Got
count
a
the turnover and
14-point
downs.
lead in 5
And,
minutes.
Yeah, maybe it would have been a different game with Jalen Hurts. But guess what? Injuries happen, man, and your team is built to withstand that, especially,
That's right.
with that number 1 defense. Y'all gave up 36 points with that number 1 defense. That's how you lost.
If Devontae Smith catches a ball, the game is over.
Yes.
So who's at fault? Who's at fault? Is it coaching for Philly? Is it you beat a second string quarterback? No, it's not. It's down to your execution as a team, Philadelphia, and you fucked up. That's
And
it.
Just like
it's as simple
with
as
us,
that.
We turned the ball over 5 times. If we don't turn the ball over, you don't know what that game's going to be like, even with Jalen Hurts in there.
Correct.
I'd go and willing to say that we would have probably won that game if we didn't turn. But we shot ourselves in the foot.
I will say this:
that
in
was
the
on us.
official record, in the column that says games that could have been lost if Jalen Hurts had played, we are 0-1. So congratulations to Philadelphia on that. But
Hey, I'm trying to be a good guy here. Like
I know what you're saying, man.
I'm trying to.
But the
It's
excuses,
a-
man,
it's
just
a-
stop
you
the
know what?
excuses.
Yeah.
It's a look, dude. It's a loss, and you've got to take the loss. But at the same time, you're going to wrap the division up next week. Do you know what I mean? Let's be real here. You're going to wrap the division up next week. You're probably going to be number 2 seed. Great.
whatever.
And it's
Here-
probably
here's-
a good
that's
thing
it.
y'all lost.
You-
Going into the playoffs on a streak hardly ever works out.
Here's the bottom
Usually
line.
doesn't.
Let's do the English class thing here. We're gonna take Mr. Eagle Empire's sentence apart. Wow, you beat a bad second string quarterback. All right, the subject of that part of the sentence is bad second string quarterback, which is your fault. Your fault.
Former
And
first-round
still
pick,
only
I
one
might add.
because
Not even a
Devontae
bad
dropped the
second-string
ball. And
quarterback.
let's once again break this part down. Devontae dropped the ball, which is your fault, which is your fault. And the rest of it happened because we changed things around, started sticking your running game in its ass, and that was the end of the game. That was that. And we threw 5 touchdown passes on you after giving up 5 turnovers, and you couldn't win the game against us in our own home. And we really don't care about any other explanations. We really don't care about any of your excuses. All right, everybody, we all had this exercise last night where we practiced this so that we could take care of this today. Max, do you remember what you were taught to say today to Eagle fans with all their stupid excuses? What were we taught?
Boo-hoo.
No, that's
No.
not true. That's not true. Okay, Jesse, how about you? Do you remember what we were taught to say?
Fuck them.
Fuck them is good
No.
enough, but no, it's not quite. Scott, you've got the answer.
I don't fucking care.
I don't
Wasn't it?
fucking care.
Don't care.
That's right. Take your excuses and stick them up your ass, and that's all
Well,
there
back
is
to
to it.
the cornerback discussion real quick.
Yes, the
before we go.
quarterback
Yeah.
discussion.
Man,
Honestly, I like Sandra Steele and Noah and Lattimore as our starting group. I really do.
I don't.
No, we need to upgrade.
Yeah,
We
but
do need
who
to
are you-
upgrade.
where
I
are
don't
you
trust
going to upgrade
Lattimore.
from?
That's the problem.
I'm gonna
we're
move.
talking off season. Is the question?
I'm,
and-
yeah, I'm gonna
Offseason.
upgrade. I'm gonna upgrade and move Sam Still into his natural position, the star position, or the slot, and I'm gonna get another outside corner.
Listen,
That's what I'm gonna
But
do.
hey, he's playing great out
You
there.
need
Why
depth. You need
Right,
depth.
I understand
when,
that, but-
when Lattimore's gone, we're in Benjamin St. Jude's territory, which is
I get that, but
That's
if
right.
you look at the draft and you look at the potential free agent class, there isn't
Yeah.
really anybody there.
Yes, there is.
We're gonna let Adam Peters deal with that. And,
There's a lot.
You never know. There's cornerbacks coming out of the third, fourth round all the time.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry. Noah I gets picked on. He gets picked on.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He gave up some big plays yesterday.
Okay.
So did Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, yeah, I mean, so did
Marshawn Lattimore had the touchdown.
When you're playing a team of that caliber, they're going to take their punches and they're going to get them. This is the thing. Well, in continuing the thing about Lattimore, I loved that battle yesterday with him.
Yeah, great. And I, if he stays healthy, years to come, AJ.
I mean, it's the Mike Evans and Lattimore deal.
Yes, that's like, what I'm saying. That's what exactly I was going to say. I hope that is the Evans Lattimore is now the new AJ Lattimore.
Let's just hope Lattimore gets the best of it, because yesterday I thought AJ had what, 2 touchdowns?
One
touchdown. Yeah. Lattimore had 2 big penalties.
I like Noah I just like him as a depth piece. I think
DJ Reed's a free agent, wanted to come here before the season started. Well, before the deadline. I mean, the minute we signed Lattimore, he put in a tweet on his IG with a cryy face. He clearly wanted out. He wanted us to trade for him. There's a free agent straight away. Who else? Yeah. Who else have you got?
I mean,
Byron Murphy,
isn't high.
Jeff Okudah.
The Jets are performing terribly. Sauce has had so many games where he doesn't even make a stat.
I think there's some reasons. Some reasons.
Well, it's all
beyond.
Aaron Rodgers' fault.
Like a fucking, I think his Madden rating isn't high enough for Woody Johnson's.
That could be it.
Unbelievable.
That could be it. All right, sorry, something happened to my camera, so I popped in and popped back out, and I've been doing my popping.
No, like I was saying, I like Noah I just think I think we can do better.
We can do better.
Depth piece.
And then I think we could have a really nice, putting Sanderstill back in the slot, getting a number 2 corner. And with Chin and Martin, I think we could really have a nice back end.
All right, well, speaking of back ends, let's do some head smacks and butt pats.
Head smack.
Go ahead, Max. Max wanted to kind of say
I just want to, real quick, just because we're talking about the edge people. Tank Dell, Jesus Christ.
Oh, poor guy, man.
Poor guy. Did you see their waiver claim today?
No. Yep.
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson. He'll go down there and demand lobster tails in his locker at halftime, and they'll throw him out. So
Deontay Johnson is going from Baltimore to Houston, who play each other on Wednesday.
Nice.
Coincidence? I think not.
And then Baltimore claimed our good old friend Steven Sims from Houston.
Yeah?
Oh.
Did Houston got a spot, right? Did they clinch a playoff?
I don't think they've clinched, but they basically have like one more thing they need to do to clinch, and I think that's just win. Basically. If Anthony Richardson sneezes wrong, they're basically going to be out. So,
yeah, but he got his kneecap dislocated, right?
No, they're in. They're in already.
Oh, they did.
They're in the 4. They're in the 4
seed.
seed.
I heard that yesterday.
They're in the 4 seed. There's only 2 spots available. So far, that's Kansas City, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Houston, Baltimore, and then it's the Chargers and Denver at the moment are in the 6 and 7
Pittsburgh
seed.
and Baltimore have the same record.
Yes, they do. No, yes, they do.
It's gonna be crazy. The lowest seeded NFC team is going to have 11 wins.
Well, I mean, there's still a chance that Miami or Indianapolis can fill that 7 seed, but the Chargers basically locked it up by beating Denver.
Well, I think I'm talking about on the NFC side. Usually the NFC is like a 9-win team. Usually always.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the NFC's got a lot of.
NFC's been weak for
and
years.
We're 10 win at this point.
But right? I think the NFC is.
Atlanta's in the 4 seed on 8 and 7. I mean.
Yeah.
Well, that's the South, though. It never puts up anybody that's worth a shit, except every once in a while the
Tampa.
fucking Bucks will sign the Tom Brady or the Saints will step up. But really, the South is usually, if you look at it, it is won by somebody new every goddamn year. All right, while he goes and get the water there, Holy Water saying "fuck the Falcons." That's really nice of you there, Holy Water. Here, coming up on Christmas, Holy Water is going to say "fuck the Falcons," and I agree. Fuck the Falcons.
So we were at Head Smacks and Butt Pats.
Hell yes.
We are.
We're going to butt pats and head smacks, and we're going to start with Scott G, who gives a butt pat to the independent neurological doctor who didn't clear.
God, while we're waiting for Jesse, the guy that was in front of me at the game was just the stereotypical Philly fan with the big mustache, bald head, just middle fingers everywhere. It's just like, dude, stop.
This is a guy
How many,
brought up thinking that a cheesesteak is
how many
made with
rows-
fucking cheese whiz.
I was in row 2.
How many? You in row? It is row 2.
I was in row 2.
Yeah, so it's a row in front of you. Yeah.
So my seat, so like you think of the upper deck, it's the concrete. I was on like what was an elevated, like a bleacher essentially up there. So that was a real trippy thing.
For those of you in the UK that might not know what cheese whiz is and why they put
Gross.
it on a cheesesteak, it is a 1950s space age. Let's put
Aerosol
cheese in a
cans,
fucking
cheese.
aerosol can and a tube. Disgusting fucking cheese that you shouldn't feed your children. And they put it on a goddamn piece of steak and say, "Hey, you want it with or without?" And I'm thinking they're asking me if I want it like with onions or mushrooms, and no, they're asking me if I want it with cheese whiz or without cheese whiz, which is really explains why that guy ate a fucking turd after they won the Super Bowl, because he probably realized it tastes better than a fucking Pat steak.
What's ew, Scott or Jesse?
Georgia Carson Beck will miss the rest of the season.
Yeah, he has a Brock Purdy injury.
Oh, UCL.
Yeah, it was the same thing that happened in the championship game. He went to throw it and his elbow got stuck.
I might want to change my pick then for the national championship because that
Can't do
clears
it. It's
Penn
already
State.
in. Can't do it.
But Penn State's way might be clear. Penn State, by the way, nice victory.
going to get their ass whipped.
Have you got SMU next?
Well, no, they
they
just
just
beat
whooped
SMU.
up SMU.
But
Oh, they
I
beat
just
SMU.
I wanted to do a little hot take. I think Notre Dame's going to beat Georgia. And I hate Notre Dame. I hate Notre Dame.
I hate Georgia.
I mean Notre Dame.
I
Yeah,
hate
but anyway.
Georgia,
Yeah.
Alabama.
No, we don't. We mean Notre Dame. God damn
Why?
pompous fuckhead.
All right. Moving along.
Notre Dame. Yeah.
Whatever. Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah,
It is.
Jaden
That's how you
Daniels
put it.
is
Down to
the
the
absolute
French.
best quarterback in the 2-minute drill. Has a 90.1 rating.
Woo.
Jaden Daniels does?
Yep.
Unbelievable. All right, so
Butt pat.
everybody's going to be giving Jaden Daniels a butt pat today. So we're going to just go ahead and get
Facts.
that one right out of the way. Jaden Daniels is the command performer of the football game. 100%. So we're all going to just give him a bruise and spank his ass for a little while and tell him he did a good job. All right, so Jesse, give me somebody else on offense who gets a butt pat today.
Look, the old man, Jamison Crowder. Come in here.
Don't break his hip.
Yeah. And you know, he doesn't do a whole lot, but what he does it well. And 2
Is he
touchdowns.
Ron's best signing?
And, you know, filled in punts. I love Jamison Crowder. Come on, J-Mo.
Is he Ron's best signing?
Was he
I'd
a
say
Ron
in season,
signing?
yes.
Count. I mean, we drafted him. I don't know. I mean, it's
I know.
like,
We let him go
Yeah,
to
but
the Jets.
he wasn't a Ron signing, was he?
Yes, he was.
Yes.
He just came to us a couple
I
years
mean,
ago, 2 years ago.
Jay drafted him.
Yeah, Jay
Oh, in
drafted
23.
back.
You're right. Okay.
Right. And then he went to the Jets because he wanted a lot of money because he was a free agent.
The
and, you
Jets,
know,
Bills, and Giants.
right. That's the age of the free agent, man. That's the age of the cap. That's how it works. And now
Strange
he's back.
statistic about Jamison Crowder. He threw the 200th touchdown that was at an international series. There you go. Or didn't throw it. He caught it. Sorry, he received the 200th touchdown in the
Who threw it?
international series.
Kirk Cousins.
No, it was
In the
whoever
international
was
series.
whoever was throwing for the Giants. I'm assuming it would be Daniel Jones.
So
Probably.
probably Daniel Jones then. Because he was here when we played in London in 2016.
When we tied the
It
fucking
wasn't that one
Ravens.
though. It wasn't that one. But anyway, butt pats. I'm
butt
gonna
pat on
go.
offense.
I'm gonna go with Zacchaeus. Man,
Well-
yeah, great game.
Right,
He had a
we
great
needed
game.
Zacchaeus.
Attaboy.
Big time butt pat. Max, how about
Sorry,
you?
Max.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Terry McLaurin for the other touchdown.
You know, you could see on the reverse angle of that where you saw from behind the line of scrimmage how open he was heading towards the pylon. But man, Jaden put that
Quinyanamo
ball-
Bay got flooded.
Yeah,
It did.
Quinyanamo Bay. Look, Godzilla got up out of Quinyanamo Bay and walked all over it.
And that water got real shallow. It was a puddle.
That pass, I'm telling you,
I thought he overthrew it.
It would have come down within an inch of the inside of the pylon. I think just right down inside there. It was perfect. There's nobody else going to get that ball, and if it's caught, it's a touchdown. Period.
The angle I was at, I thought he overthrew it.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
That was a gorgeous pass. The deep ball to Diami was a gorgeous pass.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's my first book on defense. Diami Brown. I'm telling you what, man. I know we want to say we want to go get a number 2, but this dude's stepping up.
He got crunched by a middle linebacker.
He did
That's
get
probably
crunched
the
by-
most understandable fumble of the game.
Yeah, middle linebacker. But still, I think he's got the speed to be able to. He did have one play where the guy that they had just brought in the game really got the best of him, I thought, and he wasn't able to break away and try to get a deep pass. But overall, his speed, and I like the way he plays on the inside. He plays tough. So, yeah, he did get crunched and fumbled yesterday, but I'm going to go ahead and give him a butt pat anyway because I like Diami Brown. And the guy called him a homo and got thrown out of the game.
I got one for. I'm gonna give one to Cliff.
Yeah.
A Eagles defense that has not allowed more than 2 touchdowns all season long. We were able to get touchdown passes in the game all season long. We were able to get 5 of them. So, nice little pat on the back for Kingsbury, and no more talk about this Cliff. Stupid talk.
Explain that.
We got
Explain that.
The Cliff.
Oh, the Cliff. Okay,
people
where
saying
everybody
that Cliff
figures him out.
Kingsbury the second half of seasons goes downhill. No,
Right, well,
sorry. Not
W is
happening.
for wine, which explains why John doesn't understand these things towards the end of the show. All right, Scotty, you got another butt pat?
Yeah, I'm going to say the offensive line, even though at times they were overawed by Jalen Carter, but to give up only 1 sack, going from 8 the previous week to go to 1, just give them all of it. It made a massive difference having Biadish in there.
Yeah,
massive
I'd
difference.
say. Although Carter
We just covered the whole.
Yeah, we did.
Pretty much, yeah.
Is there anybody you want to point out specifically, Jesse? Go ahead. No.
This is
All
for
right,
a head
so
smack,
on
or-
offense. Go ahead. Our first butt pat on defense. Go ahead.
Are you talking about head smacks?
No, we're doing butt pats.
We're doing butt pats. Okay.
Defense. I'm gonna go second half. This is only second half. Joe Witt. I think he did a phenomenal job.
You could say
of
second
adjusting.
quarter on.
Well,
Yeah,
we're just gonna say second half. We're just gonna say second half because and we gave up 21 points in the first half. So
In the first quarter, Jesse. First quarter.
109 yards rushing in
Same
the first quarter. It's like-
I think we really limited Saquon after giving up 100 fucking yards. Actually, it was more than 100 yards if you put
109.
Jalen Hurts rushing yards in it because he had 40 rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
But we really, pinned their ears back and focused on stopping Barkley and stopped him enough, slowed him down enough. 27
All right.
yards in the second half. Joe Witt.
Yeah.
Because I was ready to fire his ass. Fucking that first quarter. I was so pissed off.
All right, so Scotty, give me your butt pat on defense.
I'm going to have to take the low-hanging fruit. Bobby Wagner, 9 tackles, 8 solo tackles, 1 pass deflection, which was unbelievable as well against Saquon,
important.
as you said, John. It was really
Yeah.
important time. So Bobby Wagner. And he was also inside the cameraman. He was on the camera at one point.
That is true.
Over the other side of it. I had to get helped out the side of it. But yeah, fair play. Bobby Wagner, man, he had a great game.
All right, Max, what about you?
Frankie Louvu, he actually caught the ball.
Dude, it hit him right in the gut.
Yeah, he
Stuck in his
hit him in the
navel.
hands last week, and he dropped it, so he had to let it hit in the
What
gut.
Luvu did on that play,
He dropped right
dissect
back
that
into the fucking
play,
lane.
It was the same play that ran the drive before, and he baited Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, he baited Pickett into that interception. It was primo shit.
All right, so Frankie Louvu back. Oh, wrong one. Frankie Louvu back on the butt pat.
Appreciate that.
Best
Holy
podcast
Water.
ever. Thank you
for
Holy
being
Water.
with us.
That's our guy. And by the way, thank you for God stopping by. Right. He's out doing some final shopping for his kid's birthday and all. So thank you to God stop by. Good old Yahweh. Let's see. My butt pat on defense. I'm going to go defensive line. I want to say Duron had a hell of a game, man, because they did adjust and were able to shut Saquon Barkley down, which, look, yeah, Hurts is out of the game, but you've still got the best offensive line in football, and you still have them able to run block, and you still have the best, if not second best, maybe you could still argue Derrick Henry, and I don't want to hear you about Christian McCaffrey. Barkley, in terms of being a pure runner, it's between him and Henry, and Barkley is younger. So you saw what he was able to do early in the game, and they just shut it down. They closed those things down. Payne was crashing down the line like a fucking monster. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to just Daron Payne, because I'm not going to be like some cheesy other guy that would just give it to the whole OL and be fucking lazy about it.
Attaboy. All right. Cheers, John. Fucking bellend.
You fucking too late for this shit. Fuck off.
Bellend. Anyway. Jessy, it's you, isn't it, again? Going back round again? Because I got some.
Scott G's got a good point. I thought Newton had a really decent game too. He
got a sack as well.
Yeah,
a sack, 3 TFLs.
Attaboy.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll give one to Cleveland Farrell for having a big
big old
attaboy.
ass.
That we didn't.
I got one that's out of that. I got one out of the box as well. So
go ahead. Just shout him out.
Jalen Holmes, number 96.
Oops, wrong one.
No, wrong one.
Attaboy.
Two tackles and a sack, and he was a late call up as well, man. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Once again, for our friend that was not in the stadium, how is that not a fumble in the fourth quarter?
It was a shovel pass.
Oh yeah, it was a shovel pass.
It was pretty clear. It was pretty clear on.
Was his arm actually going forward?
It was.
Yes.
It came out of his hand like, here I'm doing
So what it looked
Dr.
like is
Tung's
that he
House
was
of
running
Passing.
and it just kind of fell out that way. It didn't look like he made any effort to release the ball.
At first glimpse, man, I was running around the house. I thought we got
Sam
it.
was still-
Same.
The replay, it was like I was like, oh shit, nope. No, you could clearly see he was going forward.
By the way, anybody out there that got the Dr. Tung's House of Shovel Passes reference, dude, you are my kind of person. All right, so
Sheldon Day, he gets one as well.
The whole defensive line played great, but yeah, Sheldon Day had a good game. I thought this Carl Davis had a good game.
Didn't you just say it was lazy to say the whole offensive line?
The whole
Yeah, he
defensive
did.
line. I did, but I'm
Yeah,
not
he
giving.
did,
I
yeah.
already made my specific call out to Daron Payne. Now
okay,
we're just
okay.
we're in the free for all session of the.
Can we just give the whole fucking team one for the effort to get to the end here and say, you know what, this is a statement win.
Attaboy.
Let's be honest, it is the whole fucking team, the whole organisation, the fan base. It was the loudest I've heard that in a long, long time.
was loud.
When
on
Louisville picked
there,
off
man.
that pass, man.
Oh
that place,
shit,
the
yeah, that
roar
was
in
so
that
loud.
place was. I haven't heard that in years.
It was loud the entire
except for
time.
the other team. So yeah, that was good. All right, let's do some head smacks and get on out of here. So we'll move through them real quick. Anybody on offense get you a head smack there, Jesse?
It's hard. I guess you can not a head. I'm not going to give him a head smack, but like, come on, you can't do that. Jay Danielson has 2 interceptions.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't do that. We were able to overcome, but you can't do that. Go ahead, Scotty. What do you got?
Brian Robinson. Cannot put the ball on the ground twice. Sorry, mate.
No, and quite honestly, man, you got to have games where you don't disappear like that in rushing. When they're tough, you got to get tough, man. And yeah, you can't put the ball around. Max, go ahead.
De'Ami Brown for fumbling the ball. And
Not the only thing you can call right there. For me, it's just Sam Cosmi with the tip. You're going to be facing Jalen Carter. You just signed a contract. You're going to be here for a while. You're going to be facing that guy for a while. He already has you figured out. You got to be better.
Yeah, I think that probably does it for the at least
Right,
on the offensive
for the
side of the
offense.
ball.
Offensive side, yeah.
All right, so for
Defensive.
the defense, let's get some head smacks. Defense, Max, go ahead. Max, for
I
not
got
being
one.
uncomfortable.
Benjamin St. Juice. Again, you come into
Come
the
on.
game and you totally fucking what was that tackle?
Whiffed.
That
He
was like
whiffed
the
on that tackle.
pussiest fucking.
But
Like,
in his head.
I'm going to give him.
I couldn't get you.
I'm going to give him.
Same
Well, he
goes-
completely missed AJ Brown the first
corporeal.
one.
Dude,
But I
same
will give him.
goes.
I will give him a can kick
Yes,
because,
I'm all right.
like a little part head smack. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just a push or a shove because he did have an important tackle on AJ Brown as well. We've got to give him that. because AJ Brown was gone. He was gone to the house if he's not taking him round the ankles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Benjamin St. Juste has been known for taking it around the ankles, huh?
Maybe he is Canadian.
What's that about?
That we like our friends to the north. All right, so Max, give me a head smack for defense.
I couldn't.
I can't really give you another one because
Marshawn Lattimore.
No.
Marshawn Lattimore, I thought he's playing one-on-one in a lot of situations against one of the best wide receivers in the league. Jesse, we had that discussion during the game yesterday. Scouts was asking why run zone when you're down so close, and it became quite apparent. You showed exactly why. You have to run man-to-man.
Yeah,
why you can't run
man-to-man.
man-to-man. Why
Right
you
up
run
there.
zone down close.
I mean, you can get away with it sometimes, but when you have someone like A.J. Brown, like I just didn't
They're gonna
like
kill you
tough.
one
Didn't
man.
like the way they played it right there.
Yeah, no,
Can we give
2 steps and he's open.
Yeah.
Can I give one more
All you
butt
need.
pat out as well that I've missed?
Oh, yeah, please. Tell
Sorry,
somebody
man.
else you want, Scott. Go ahead.
It's Luke McCaffrey for the return game.
Yeah.
He was brilliant.
Yeah,
He was very good.
100%. Definitely
I will
deserves
too,
it.
and I'll give it one to Jamison Crowder for
Attaboy.
even though he bobbled one, but he did. He had one where he caught it and he kind of
Yeah,
grabbed
I
it
know.
again. But hey, look, after the one that he had last year against Dallas, where he just flipped the ball up in the air, dude, you can't make me nervous like that on those punt returns. I do like him. All right, I think that kind of takes us to the end of the show. Are we done? Anybody got anything
Yes.
else that they want to say about this? All right, we're going to look forward ahead to the Falcons on Friday. We're going to go ahead and break down the Falcons. We're going to laugh at Michael Penix and his last name. We're going to make fun of Kirk Cousins getting benched. Go ahead.
What's with the Falcons and getting a quarterback that's one letter off from just genitalia?
I remember back in the 70s, they had a quarterback named Spencer Vagini, and we all used to laugh. We made fun of him all the time. All right, so I guess that's that. So, Scott, and 1 Point Safety Show, you guys are not taking the holiday off. You will be on Thursday afternoon after everybody's finished with their Christmas day.
We will be on Boxing Day. We will be on at 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern.
All right, so
Need a
explain
guess?
this Boxing
I'll be
Day thing.
available.
Now,
Sweet.
from what I understand, Boxing Day originated in Victorian times when if you you had somebody that was like, locked up for usury or something like that, that they could offer to box the Queen. And if they could knock Queen Victoria out, then they got to go free. Is that true?
No, it's not. The origins of Boxing Day are unclear, but they're saying that in medieval England, the wealthy would give gifts, food and money to the poor servants on the day after Christmas Day. And then the other side of it is in the early days of Christianity, churches would be having boxes, they would install for donations on Advent, and it's always on the day after Christmas. So that's where that comes
So
from.
the rich would re-gift. Oh, I can't stand this watch. Give it to the butler. Give it to the gardener. I can't stand this.
Yeah, go and see Jeeves.
And the church would put out boxes and say, these suckers put a bunch of money in there for us.
Yeah,
That's good.
pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, then. We will be back Friday afternoon at 5:30 to discuss the Atlanta Falcons. And then we will be back Saturday afternoon to pick NFL football games and make bets. How did I do this week?
I have no idea. I haven't even looked at it.
I know I did damn good.
You got one of yours in, didn't you?
I got the big one in.
You got a big one. I
Both
came really
on
close.
here and on here for real.
Yeah,
Nice.
My real bets were really nice, except for the fucking 49ers, who fucked me on many cards. So, anyway. Merry Christmas, everybody. We will see you
Merry
after the
Christmas to
holidays.
everyone. Thank you all for being in the chat. We appreciate you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all those things you do on YouTube. Thank you, everybody.
That's right.
Have a great Christmas.
Yeah.